Ewing,
Hello.
how are you? What are you doing? What are you doing on the table?
I'm shaking the shake.
Okay, is
Drink
it
some
like a
protein.
protein shake?
Yes, because I had pizza for dinner, and as we know, pizza is basically pure, not carbon.
Carbs.
Hello, carbs. Yeah, pure carbs. So now I need some protein. I,
Well,
w- I
if
would
you
be.
put
I would
enough
be.
cheese on the pizza, like cheese is probably like 30% protein.
I would be so dead without my wife.
Yeah.
I would be just eating like carbs, and then to add some protein, I would eat
I have
10
Jeek.
eggs. I already had mine today.
Jeek is not sponsoring us. This is a live stream that is actually sponsored by Callstack. Look at my beautiful
Oh,
neon.
I wanted to point at mine, but I don't have any
You are
yet.
actually pointing at the logo in the right top corner or left top corner.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was pointing at.
Let's start this stream. We were off last week. Queuing was
Yes,
on holiday in Porto,
in Porto.
and I was swamped with some other work. So we decided not to do the stream last week. Sorry for that. But
Yeah,
we are back. We are
it was
finally back.
pretty busy week. And let me quickly also inform everyone on X that we are starting, because I completely forgot to post about it. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I'm just checking the audio on the
Oh,
on other screen. We are good. We're good.
checking what?
The
Audio. Okay.
audio on the
Okay.
stream, if our levels are equal or not.
Okay,
It's
sorry,
more or less
I
fine.
heard Oreo. I was like, Oreo? The
Audio,
cookies?
yeah.
Are you checking the Oreo?
Nice. We have our usual listeners. We can start.
Oh, we are waiting for you, Ryan. Good to have you.
So, Queuing, we have 2 weeks worth of news to go
Yeah,
through.
that's a
And
lot.
what maybe we can do is first of all, let's look at both newsletters like side by side and try to figure out topics that we want to discuss, because if we go too deep into one of them, we'll probably do like 2 hours on just one newsletter and just
Oh,
forget
yeah.
about the other one. What do you say?
So, so let's give it a quick scan, and like maybe pick out the most interesting topics so we can later, after going through all of the news, go back and talk about the most interesting parts.
Yeah. Okay, I'm
But
gonna
first,
share.
let me give me a second, one moment. Be right
Okay,
back
okay.
in a second.
I'm gonna set it up. So I'm gonna share my entire screen, and we're just gonna duplicate this and move this like that.
Oh, sorry. I changed the setup and the light now is right up me face.
So yeah, we have newsletter from yesterday, from September 24th, brought to you by people from Software Mansion, Tymoteusz and Krzysztof Piaskowy, and then newsletter from September 17th, brought to you by original This Week in React author Sebastian Lorber.
Noise. It's gonna
Let's,
be
yep.
quite a bit of news. But maybe before we start, just like to know, stretch the bones. How was your 2 weeks? Anything important happened? Anything fun happened?
Mostly working on lots of different like issues and projects. That's why I couldn't join last week. Also, like without you, if you've been there last week, maybe you could have convinced me to join for 2 hours. But like without my colleague, without my uh, how do you say hmm, soul brother? No,
Better half.
yeah, better. Yeah, that's a good. That's a good.
Actually, I don't like these glasses now.
Let's jump into this. It's been a busy week in React and React Native. So let's start maybe with the older one first. So that's that. And we'll just quickly go through them and maybe note something down so we don't forget. Okay.
Okay.
So first sponsor section and then React. I want to look at this, the activity
Actually,
component.
can we just open one window? Because I have two windows opened, and
Sure.
it's it would be easier.
I can also, if I'm only looking at one window, I'm gonna do this. So if I share the screen right now and I share a window, it should take more space. Okay.
Nice.
So I want to talk about this activity. I want to really understand what is it about. The exciting new activity component can hide a React subtree while preserving its state and keep rendering with lower priority. I guess that's the concurrent React and new
Okay.
architecture comes in.
I kind of thought you mean the live activity. So that's something different.
No. That's from React Word. The activity is from React Word. It's a new component. I want to look how it works, and then the road to next. Okay, can I use server components? We can't use React Word conditionally, can we? Cloudflare major outage. Dude, I've heard about this.
What? But
So Cloudflare had a major outage, and it was due to an use effect infinite loop. So yeah, let's if we wanted to.
Can I jump the gun and suspect AI driven code?
Not
or a human
necessarily,
error?
right? Okay, then React parties, conference, and then some docs. Okay.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah, that's React, right? And then we want to stick to the news and not to maybe to some docs or articles or I don't know.
Fair enough.
And then quote from our co-founder Mike, and then sponsor section, and then React Native. This one I've this one I feel like we've already covered in depth when we were talking about the beta versions. Do you remember that?
When we played around with that.
So we played around with Expo SDK 50 for beta.
Yeah.
And we played with my material design. Sorry.
Yeah.
with liquid glass. with liquid glass. And we played with precompiled iOS. But this thing is new.
Actually,
I was not playing around with Expo Router v6.
You know what? I'm going to be marking down the more interesting topics. So let me quickly do a setup for that. And before that, I have a small question to you, actually.
Okay.
Because recently I finally did the deed and I upgraded my personal iOS.
226?
Exactly. And my question is, did you do the same? Did you also do
yeah. Right. 2 hours after it went live.
Okay. So after some time, what are your opinions about the new liquid glass? Because I'm still kind of on the fence.
I updated because I hated the Apple Car experience, the CarPlay.
Oh yeah, the new CarPlay also uses the.
I think Android Auto is so much better for driving and everyday use. So I wanted to see what's new in CarPlay, and it's better. It's still not up to par with Android Auto, but I like CarPlay more now. What do I think about liquid glass? It's there. I got used to it.
I really think that it's not yet ready. It's I've found plenty of visual glitches and issues and I just don't think it's ready yet.
It's gonna be better with time. The liquid glass design. I don't care about this that much. It is there. I like though how the context menus are now more like laid on top of each other and more intuitive that they had been. So previously the context menus were like morphing. So if you selected a new option, it like occupied the same space, but like the content was different in that same space. Right now it's completely new overlay on top of the old overlay, which I like.
Okay.
I think that's a good change.
Damian says, what to like, dislike in CarPlay audio, Android Auto, just was plus music.
Okay. The first major thing that Android Auto had and my CarPlay doesn't have is pinch to zoom on maps and like maybe even rotation of the map. But like pinch to zoom on the map is so important when you drive and when you like want to see the road ahead of you. It doesn't work. Still, it doesn't work in this new CarPlay thing. And in Android Auto, I had this for years now.
Yeah, but now you have to go into options and like press the...
Yeah, you have to press the plus
less
and minus,
intuitive.
which is such a weird UX to like do that if you can just like pinch and zoom. So that's the first thing. And like probably the major thing.
Okay. Okay, yeah, sorry. I was curious because I updated like less than a week ago, and I'm still like getting used to it visually, and like partially I like it a lot, and in other situations it just bothers me so hard. Like for instance, unlocking the screen, I feel like it got so slow now.
I think
Often it lags.
they're gonna fix it in 0.1 probably. Probably like 0.0 version is like a lot of bugs for a lot of people. I have friends that are not updating until they get this like 0.1 version because they had very unpleasant experiences with like 0.0 versions from years ago, from last year and from years ago.
Makes sense.
Okay, going back to the news. I want to talk about this. This is the first. It's not the first time that I'm seeing Expo Router v6, but I only saw like a headline on X Twitter, so I want to like look into this as well. And then, yep, some Apple and Android TV improvements. Okay, let's look at about that. React Native Directory updated. It's been a while since I've heard about React Native Directory. We were used to using it back in the days where React Native didn't have much packages. Okay, let's address this. Do you watch this short film about iOS on iPhone 11? Just brick experience. I didn't see it.
But like using newest iOS on the iPhone
probably.
11. Okay.
Okay. Then now Expo Go is now available on Meta Quest. I've heard about this. We can look at this as well. React Navigation preview. Okay, so if we have time, maybe we can like run to some more of those. Links 3.4. Nice. I want to look at this as well.
Great. Then you can also explain to me what is Lynx.
Okay, I will. Okay, so that's last week and then this week in React. So this is last week in React and this is this week in React. Okay, so...
That was fast.
Well, we are just skimming through, right? And then we will go back to actually like dig deep. So again, this one is brought to you by Software Mention, Timoteusz Boba and Krzysztof Piaskowy. Thank you guys so much. And then TanStack Start 1.0 release candidate. I've heard about this. We can read about this, definitely. React Router RSC framework mode preview. That's a mouthful.
RSC.
So I'm gonna unpack this for you.
React Router, React Server Components Framework Mode
Yes.
preview.
I'm gonna unpack this for you. So famously, React Router is this very powerful routing library that's been around for ages and was considered and probably is considered like the router for React. Okay. Then people behind React Router, sorry, I forgot their names. Is it? I think Michael Jackson is
Remix. He made Remix.
Yes. So I wanted to
told
say
me that when you Google for him and you put in Michael Jackson Remix, well, it's hard to find.
And Ryan, I forgot Ryan's last name, but Michael Jackson and Ryan something, they were like involved in React Router from the beginning. They created Remix, which was based on top of React. Ryan Florence, thank you so much.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yes. I also had an interview with him a year ago on ReactConf, and sorry, I forgot his name. So they've created Remix, right? And last year on ReactConf 2024, Ryan Florence announced from the stage that React Router and Remix are merging together under the umbrella of React Router again. So they went from routing library to framework to framework under the routing library name.
Oh, like that.
And now they are adding React Server Components Framework to this name, which is such a complicated scenario. Okay. So that's that. We can look at this as well.
Sorry, I'm just like confused. But the remix is still its own thing.
Well, no, actually not. So let's ask Perplexity. What's the story behind? Look at my typos. Behind React Router and Remix. Explain the timeline. Time, line, and current state. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So Remix started at full stack React framework known for server-side rendering and advancing routing feature. React Router was originally a routing library. Over time, Remix becomes closely tied to React Router since it was largely a re-export and extension of React Router. Around 2024, the Remix team decided to consolidate their efforts by merging Remix capabilities back into React Router version 7. And then we have 3 modes: declarative routing mode, data router mode, and framework mode. Okay. Providing a plug and play experience similar to Remix 2, but within React Router. Yep. And then Remix 3 is being reimagined as a separate full stack framework, focusing on web standards, non-bundle required. Yep. So that's that.
You know what, I gotta be honest, I'm not that fluent in routers, in React routers. It's
There's
just
not
like
that many.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not, knowledgeable about them. Usually, like when I was doing some like web stuff, I was using just Next.js.
Oh yeah.
And using their folder-based routing structure, which is also what kind of Expo uses as well. So I never dove deep into those, I'd say, more customized solutions.
So like a React Router, I think predates Next.js.
Oh yeah, I got that, but it's just I never had a need to use something else than what I got out of the box.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I'm just
And when we go back talking about TanStack, they have their own router as well.
Oh yeah, I figured that out.
Is it TanStack router? Oh, let's see.
It really feels like soon like there will be separate distros of React. Like React will be just like Linux, but instead of like Ubuntu, you will have TanStack version, and instead of
funny you say that, because we're going to talk about Lynx, which is exactly using the same kind of mental model as you explained.
Wow. I always wanted to like learn even more stuff. Not to learn new stuff, just relearn what I already know, but in different flavors.
Yeah, okay. So then there's a thread about React's true competitive advantage. Ricky from the Merat core team states that the real innovation in React resolves around scheduling, which I guess is that activity component.
Mm-hmm.
And then React Summit US, parallel routing. Okay. How to migrate to TanStack Start. A lot of TanStack news. And that's that. Okay.
Ryan says that I think for React SPA projects with Vite, React Router is standard for routing. Apart from TanStack Router, I don't see any other alternatives. All right. Yeah, I kind of see. You make a great point. However, when I was bootstrapping something with Vite, I was mainly like doing one page and all of the logic on one page without any routing on that.
Okay, so if you want to bootstrap a new project with Vite, you would use Jack Harrington create React Vite app. I think that's that.
Oh yeah, and then it asks
create
you, right?
TS router app.
It asks you on the setup, like what routers and stuff you want to use.
It's this. So I'm gonna search for it. And then I think Jack Harrington helped create this. And basically this will create you an app with TanStack router.
Okay.
And I guess it is using Vite under the hood. Let's see.
Damian says that TanStack starts to look good, but he's more hype about Remix v3.
Conf in October 10. What conf in October 10?
I'm gonna check it for you. It's the Remix conference.
Jam.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I'm gonna be in US at that time. Mike, if you're watching this, you should send me to RemixConf.
But isn't that in Canada?
Let's see.
Location Canada, Toronto.
Okay.
Well, it's closer than from Poland.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start with last week. Okay. And let's start with activity.
Actually, I will start with putting on a hoodie because it's finally winter in Poland.
Well, the autumn just started like 2 days ago.
And it happened like instantly. Like when I came back from Porto, we left the airplane and it was like 31.5 degrees Celsius. So it was actually hotter than in Porto. Mm-hmm. And now I need to put on a hoodie. So yeah, the weather is crazy.
The exciting new activity component can hide a React subtree while preserving its state and keep rendering it with lower priority. It unlocks new pre-rendering patterns along the way and could speed up link clicks, tab clicks, back-forward navigation, stack navigation, and more. Read the reference documentation, including many use cases with interactive examples. Oh, I love interactive examples.
So wait, does it mean, is it basically something like a reverse version of lazy loading? It's like instead of loading it lazily when it's needed, it just somehow blocks the priority of that?
Well, I don't know how it refers to lazy loading. I guess you can do lazy loading with this. I would say it's something more powerful than that React freeze library that we talked about. That you can wrap part of your React subtree in suspense and then like opt out of rendering it. And this one will allow you to keep rendering it, but with lower priority. So it depends on that like newish React features, concurrent mode, and stuff like that, and new architecture in React Native.
To give an example, if I understand correctly, let's say you open, like you have 3 tabs, you are on homepage, and like kind of jumping on the example you had in a second ago, if you would open now posts and then go to the, I don't know, account, so this would not just completely get rid of the posts rendering tree, but it would just like still render it, but like keep it in the backlog to first
keep it
render.
there, not because like unmounting the component will ruin its, would destroy its state, right?
Yeah.
So this is not unmounting the component; it is hiding it. So like this visible and hidden, it really maps nicely with just like style properties that you are hiding the component, but it's still there. React still knows about it, and this on top of that will lower the rendering priority, so it's not consuming that much cycles, and it's like priority goes to your visible components and not to your hidden components. That's my understanding. Let's look at the docs. Activity lets you hide and restore the UI and internal state of its children. Reference. So visible and hidden allows you to hide and show. React will visually hide it using the display none CSS property. Okay. It will also destroy the effects, cleaning up any active subscriptions. That's nice as well.
Is it?
Yeah. Because
then when you remount something, you will have new data, for instance, and you will avoid refetching if something is fetching already. Okay, makes sense.
Well, those use effects, remember how React made the decision that those use effects, they run twice sometimes? Like in strict mode, the use effects will run twice. That's why. Because they wanted you to prepare yourself for actually unsubscribing your effects. Your effects should not be like constantly listening. They should be hooking in and hooking out of connections, of subscriptions. So that's, I guess that decision from 2 years ago now is coming back in this, saying you should write your use effects properly because we are going to clean them up if you're using activity and mount them again, like subscribe again when your activity becomes visible again. While hidden, children will still re-render in response to new props, albeit at lower priority than the rest of your app. That's great. When the boundary becomes visible again, React will reveal the children with their previous state restored and recreate their effects. That's great. In this way, activity can be taught as a mechanism for rendering background activity. Rather than completely disregarding content that's likely to become visible again, you can use activity to maintain and restore the content's UI and internal state while ensuring that your hidden content has no unwanted side effects. That's great.
So I'm going to ask a question now.
Yep.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Okay, because like it's cheaper to hide something than unmount something.
Okay.
And
okay.
this,
I mean, I kind of understand the idea. It's just that I kind of struggle to understand why wouldn't we be able to achieve the same behavior with current tools?
because you'd have to unmount it, or you'd have to like create this API on your own.
So basically,
So,
the advantage, because
okay.
so for this will still use the display none, but also it will deprioritize
Deprioritize the rendering,
the rendering. Okay.
which you wouldn't be able to do yourself.
So it will basically make browsing through the app more fluent, because coming back from one tab to another will not be as it will not require refresh. It will just show you instantly your previous visit rendered without impacting your current viewing behavior. Okay, yeah, I mean, just to be clear, it sounds super cool, super dope. I'm just trying to understand it fully, the benefits.
Okay, so usage. Unmounting a component destroys its internal state, which is not always what you want. When you hide a component using an activity boundary instead, Relec will save its state for later. I think, okay, so for example, this. Try expanding the overview section and then toggling the sidebar closed. Okay, toggle
Ryan
sidebar.
I think kind of bugs me up here. He says, I think we need more use cases for this component. Where is it useful? Exactly. I understand the point and the idea of the component. It's just that I kind of struggle to understand why you got so excited about it.
I think it's a nice, useful API and really simple, and allows us to use this deferred rendering, this low priority rendering. So that sorry, the example here is dumb, but look at this. If I select the overview, right, the overview is has its own state.
Yeah,
And
okay. And this would be basically refreshed on every open, and it
so
will be
this is refreshing right now, right? Because it doesn't have this activity. So the state is lost when I do this. And in this example, the state is preserved.
Yeah, sorry, but they should have come up with more visually
Well, I guess the example is simple, but then if you just expand it to other use cases. So for example, like maps, right? Google Maps. You click on something and then you fetch the data for a new point of interest, POI. You render the address, the comments, all of this. And then you might have something just hide it. I want to see the map now. What do you do then? You can either hide it yourself and then preserve the state, but all the subscriptions, all the re-rendering is still happening in that hidden component, or you can hide it in activity, which will lower the priority, opt out of use effects of subscriptions, but still preserve the state.
Okay. This example is more palatable.
So maps, right? Google Maps. I do this. I select Vola Park right now. This side menu. This just got fetched.
Fetched and rendered, yeah.
I can hide it. Like this is not hiding, but like let's imagine that I hidden
So you
this because I want to see
hid
more
it.
UI.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I click it again, like the state is preserved, basically. That's the same like kind of
Okay.
example. So if I've had like let's say my viewport is really small, right? It's really small. It's a mobile phone. So I want to be able to hide it, collapse side panel, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what's happening there. We can hide it in activity, and then we can show it again.
Okay. Ryan asked, what is the difference between this and using display hidden? Can I take this one? Because
Yep.
I think I might know.
Okay.
And I think it would be the fact that activity is also cleaning out and keeping track of use effects. So when you just use display hidden, all of the use effects and all the logic will still be there. So it will be like mounted and fully working, making it harder on CPU and everything to like work. And with activity, you not only hide it, you also preserve the state, but also kind of freeze the logic and all of the use effects
The use
procedures.
effects will be
Was I
destroyed.
correct?
Yeah, more or less. So this is display none on steroids, basically.
Okay.
Not only
Okay.
hiding the elements, but lowering the priority and cleaning up the subscriptions.
Okay. This makes sense.
So
I think the biggest issue I struggle with now is, for instance, like when okay, Ryan says that he understands better now. I think I understand better too. But the kind of an issue, it's like issue non-issue basically, because it's awesome. It's a tool, and there will be cases when this tool will be life-saving for some projects, right? It will like help them tremendously. But in most use cases, this is like difference between 60 FPS and 65 FPS. It's like really
not
unnoticeable.
necessarily, because like I imagine this not being really like a replacement for display none. This is a replacement of conditional rendering. This is basically a replacement for this, mostly for this scenario, which is very popular React
Oh,
practice.
okay.
Like that's the React way of hiding elements that you don't need right now.
But then you completely destroy them and destroy the tree and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so they could have done such a good example with like showing re-renders with some like blinking circle.
Well,
Or
that's why they have us to explain this.
yeah, we are also
Okay.
hired by.
So restoring the DOM of hidden components. Since activity bank is hidden so preserved, blah blah blah. Okay. So like home contact, blah blah blah. So here again, this is disappearing because we like have different.
We destroy on
Yeah.
app change.
We
Mhm.
conditionally render components here. And here we don't conditionally render components. We have the activity, so the state is preserved.
Okay, that's actually pretty cool. But you know what I think it will cause in the future? Like issues with garbage collection and memory consumption.
Maybe. But
And
like if
by
right
cause
now,
I
if you are overusing display none right now, you have the same thing instead, but even larger than this because you are
because
not unsubscribing from use effects.
okay.
So like this is a nice middle ground between display none conditional rendering and like new React features. So like it's somewhere between display none and like it's the best of both of conditional rendering and display none, basically.
Okay, I get it. Makes sense.
I guess that's a good replacement for. It's not. It's not proper in all scenarios. Probably you would do those things still in your code base. Like you don't always need the home to be re-rendered with lower priority, but maybe like in 20% of the cases you actually do want that. Okay, let's go next. Are there any other scenarios? Pre-rendering content that is likely to become visible. So activity boundaries can also be used to prepare content. So if you start with activity mode hidden, it's gonna start rendering this component just with lower priority and without mounting their effects.
Oh.
Which is also like a nice API because like here.
So in this case, it's not only keeping the state after unmounting it, but it's also like silently mounting it.
Yes, silently mounting. Good point. So like the same example, home posts. If I go to posts, it's gonna load and only then it's gonna display the post. If I go to the post, it's gonna use fetch data, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when we have this, in posts, we have the same, but in app.js, we have the suspense and all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And we already have posts because that was mounted earlier. And then use is not use effect. So you should be using use instead of use effect and then fetch and then set to state because this wouldn't work.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. So if I do posts, set posts.
Okay, now that you are presenting this like that, it feels a bit like presentation of function components, like a quite bigger change than I was expecting.
It is. It's built on top. Okay, so fetch data. So is that gonna work?
You didn't. Oh yeah.
Okay. No. So import. Okay. So I want to do use state.
Effect and use state and use effect.
And use effect. Okay. So posts map is not a function. Posts map is not a function. Map is not a function.
Oh yeah, because you. What is the return of fetch data?
It's just because, an array.
But aren't you setting here a promise? Isn't fetch data a promise?
It is, yeah. Okay, so this is probably it is, yeah. So I want to do.
Ryan says that this is our awesome EF component if, and I assume he doesn't mean intermittent fasting. Or maybe he does.
Okay. Set data is not defined. Set posts. Okay. Okay. So I have it working now. If I reload, is it going to disappear? Let's copy this. I want to reload. Okay. It's reloaded. And now we'd have to wait. Did you see that?
Yeah, because it mounted the use effect after
Yeah.
it was mounted.
So if we clear this, yeah, I cancel my edits. Well, I guess we
You know,
didn't wait.
you were too fast.
I
Yeah.
was too fast. But then if I go to the post, fuck. How is it like that?
Maybe you like the things you changed. Maybe they didn't. You are now, you know, just basically doing that in production. So you are doing a live demo. So of course it will not, unless you were wrong.
Well, I should not be wrong.
Hey, wait. Where did you add it?
Yes, I was adding this here.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to reload. Welcome to my profile. And those posts, let's wait. Before, it was like already showing up.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to posts. No.
Can you just like refresh the page? Because maybe you broke something.
Okay. But like from what we read, it should be like this. So this is the example of
Without. Yeah.
without, and it was loading, and this is example with, and it's already there. Okay.
Yeah. So it's
So
something
like
didn't.
all of those new APIs that we got last year, like use, like suspense, like conditional rendering, they all come together now. And I guess this is what we will read in this post from Ricky from React team saying that the real innovation in React will be around scheduling, around those mechanisms.
Okay. I understand it now. I like it. And they should have named it Sneaky Load.
Activity is really nice name for this. It ties into like Android Word as well, where the screen is your activity and something is active or inactive, blah blah blah. And then, oh, what is it again? Speeding up interactions during page load.
With suspense
Whoa,
examples.
this is something.
No, you didn't got that far previously.
So like, I think it's the same. I think it's like this will just like this is hydrating all of this at the same time, and it takes time to process. And if you add suspense, it's gonna like
Pop it in the when you will scroll down. And this will have it prepared once you scroll down.
It's gonna like help hydrate in more
now
efficient way.
It does make sense, because basically the problem with lazy loading often is that when you scroll down, it like pops into existence suddenly sometimes, unless you
On some trigger, right?
yeah, exactly.
And then you don't need a trigger because like it's gonna like follow some order. So first
it will basically take all of the free available resources and just like render it sneakily in the background.
Think
so it's sneaky loading.
Is it possible to
Oh,
save?
sorry, I hear it.
Is it possible to save the live? The live is saved on YouTube. Oh, you are coming from X. So if you go to youtube.com, and
unless Andrei means that we are doing a bad job and we need to save this live.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing now?
the Callstack channel has a bunch of those lives already, like for you. So this one is live, and then like we have other lives there from previous weeks, so you can go there.
Quite a bit
watch
of them.
We did a bunch already.
We're starting to create our own lore.
But that's good because like thanks to this, like I'm learning all of those new things.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I didn't know that the thing like activity exists. Listen, I took a week vacation and I completely forgot that iOS updated from 18 to 26. And I was like, what about the other versions? Like, my friend sent me that, oh, I updated from 18 to 26. I was, oh, wow, you didn't update for quite a bit, huh?
Well, that's Apple's decision. Thus, like this is the line that we care about in terms of hydration. In addition to hiding and showy content, activity boundaries help you improve your app's performance during hydration by letting React know which parts of your page can become interactive in isolation. And even if your page doesn't ever hide parts of its content, you can still add always visible activity boundaries to improve hydration. So posts will hydrate first and comments will hydrate later. Which again, like you have APIs to do it in Next.js, in probably in like web, in standard web as well. You have like the priority of loading. But this is like just bringing the concept to
closer to
React. Yeah, you can like really use React to achieve this, and it's gonna use React internals to prioritize the loading.
Okay, so my question would be now, I guess, when it will hit the React Native.
Well, I think you can use it in React Native. Well, okay, two caveats there. So you have to be on new architecture, probably, like most probably, because the new architecture is enabling concurrent React, which is needed for this. That's my assumption that I haven't read, but like from all what I know, tells me that this is dependent on concurrent React and dependent thus on new architecture. And also, this is in Canary channel. And React Native is not using Canary channel. React Native is using just like a regular channel. So I guess we'll have to wait for official support, but maybe we can play around and check it out if it works already. If we like just plug in Canary React into React Native, who knows? We can try it out. We can try it out if we have time.
Okay.
So I'm really excited about this. I don't know if you can tell.
A bit. You are not as stubborn on that as you were
Grumpy.
on as you were on testing liquid glass, but you had your reasons for liquid glass.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that. Activity. Great addition to React. Okay. Let's go on. Oh, and then Next.js App Router coming in 15.6 already leverages internally with this, like, I guess, PR. Experimental cache, restore state with activity. Okay, cool. Let's go on. Let's read about this Cloudflare major outage. Deeper dive. Oh, so that's a Cloudflare blog. What happened?
So they performed investigation on themselves?
I guess so. We had an outage in our tenant service API, which led to a broad outage in many of our APIs. This incident impact stemmed from several issues, but the immediate trigger was a bug in the dashboard.
Oh.
This bug caused repeated unnecessary calls to the tenant service API. The API calls were managed by a React use effect code, but we mistakenly included a problematic object in its dependency array. Because this object was recreated in every state of prop change, React region as always knew, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so like that's basically...
So sorry. Do I see correctly that they also bragged that they... Do I see correctly that they bragged that they stopped the DDoS attack that they basically performed on themselves?
Oh, yes. Where do you read it?
This week in React. Like I scrolled down and they have it in in fun section.
So
So
if
they
I go
wrote,
to
can your mitigation provider scrubbing capacity handle that scale? Oh my god.
how do I go to Guillermo
Oh,
Twitter account?
oh my god.
Next.
That's actually super funny. Hmm.
I want to go to Next.js, and then what I want to find. Oh yeah, Guillermo, and then in his, I guess, replies from few days ago, he is talking about exactly this. Give me a moment.
I mean,
give me a moment.
Also, Sebastian like reposted it, I think.
Is it in This Week in React?
Yeah, yeah.
Where is the fun section? Fun, okay.
In 251, the newest one. In fun section as well.
Okay.
Yeah, the above you scrolled past it. A little higher. Here's the Cloudflare.
Yeah, but okay, so I will just go to the Cloudflare account then.
Oh, I bet they... Wait, is it possible they removed it? I kind of hope they didn't. Cloudflare. Yeah, they scrapped.
They removed it.
I think because
Okay,
oh no, wait,
because
sorry, they're posting quite a bit.
maybe that's because they want to hide it.
I think they might have hit it. Yeah.
Okay, never mind. So that's that, right?
No, it is still here.
Where is it?
September 22.
September 22. Okay. They tweet a lot. Okay.
Yeah, they
so that's
do
that.
tweet a lot.
And then this is crazy. Can handle all of this, but still crashes because of use effect.
I mean, but wasn't this caused by this use effect? Didn't they basically caused the DDoS attack they are talking about?
I don't know if this is like related, right? Maybe it's like two different incidents.
No, it must be, because if they released a version that basically started...
well, look, this is from September 13th. And this is from September 22nd. So like it's like two different incidents. It's just one is like by caused by their own bug, and one is like the DDoS attack.
You know what? I'm going to choose ignorance in this case, and I'm going to choose that they actually, because all I think about now is this meme with the guy putting a stick in the wheel, because they are basically like, the stick here is the user effect, and they are like, oh, we protected our users.
Okay, if I know now. Okay, never mind. I'm not looking at tweets anymore. So that's that. They had an issue in their dashboard, and it was a use effect that had an object in their dependency array, and the object had a new reference every render. So blah blah blah, outage. How
is it? I mean, I'm gonna surprise everyone now. Łukasz is a programmist as well, or programmer.
Oh.
I never know which one to use.
Why did you like sell me out here? I was
Sorry.
always pretending not to be a programmer.
I know, sorry. But have you ever, while you were developing something, did it ever happen that you didn't notice a loop in use effect? That is like, you didn't see crazy jump in logs or like something crazy happening.
Okay, I guess like in the scale of Cloudflare dashboard, it's probably like a pretty big application. Maybe consider this. Maybe the change to this object having new reference was created, right? But the page that had that
Oh,
use effect was not tested. And like you
okay.
didn't write the page itself and like testing it. Maybe like you just changed the object definition, like the
So
object
basically,
creation process.
so you basically flushed the toilet and the TV exploded.
Yeah, yeah, like that.
Okay, it makes more sense. It's still funny, kinda,
It
a bit.
is, yeah.
I mean, especially that they are like, it happened a couple of days after they were bragging about protecting users from DDoS attack and
It
then
was before.
causing. Yeah, yeah. Oh, wait, so use effect was before or?
The first was use effect on September 13th, and
Okay.
the post about
September 22.
yeah, about the DDoS attack is from later than that. Let's go back to the news because we are 1 hour in and we are still in last week in React and not this week in React. So okay, we talked about this. We talked about Cloudflare. We are skipping the new libraries. We are going to the React Native. And now I want to look at the Expo Router v6 because I've never saw it. And I guess that makes me dumb because it was almost 2 weeks ago, or like exactly 2 weeks ago, it was released. So I want to look at it. Expo Router v6 brings native iOS link previews. I hate those.
What are these?
Those are like I think if you like tap on the page and like hold it, it's gonna like show you what's in that page in browser.
In Safari?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I don't use Safari at all.
Okay,
I use
let's
the
look at the link
only
previews.
I
So
use
that's
the
that.
only app that makes sense on mobile phones,
That's the
which
one. You see? So you hold and then you see the preview of the page.
oh, okay.
Well, I guess it's good. Like it's something new. Um, okay, so mobile screens demand intuitive controls. That's why we're introducing link preview and link menu for Apple platforms, bringing long press context menus, link previews. Okay, that's good.
I'm starting to notice more and more differences between platforms sneaking into React Native.
Into
And I
Expo
don't like it.
specifically.
I don't like it because
Well,
it hurts the main purpose of React.
what's the like different path though? Should they not allow users to use Apple features? Should they not allow users to use liquid glass because Android doesn't have it? Should they not allow users to use
I'm gonna tell
link
you,
previews?
there is a reason why I am not responsible for such decisions.
What's the reason, Kevin?
I don't know because I don't know what the correct answer is.
Did you just diss yourself?
Yes, of course. I'm self-aware.
Yeah.
I mean, if you would ask me like,
So
oh, what's the correct option? I would say let's not have new features.
yeah, basically. But I know what you're saying. When we were playing around with liquid glass, we were actually like using
A separate implementation just for iOS.
Yeah, Swift UI components directly from React Native that are only available on Apple, which makes sense, but like it is expanding the platform surface, like the SDK surface of Expo, to like allow to like use those platform specificities directly from JavaScript that won't work on Android.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't like that. I mean, I understand it, but I'm starting to see if platform.os equals iOS then.
And then UI context menu interaction. Okay. Context menus support a number of their features such as symbols, toggles, staying present after tapping.
So basically now can make a browser in React Native.
Yeah, but the browser will be your app, and the pages, the web pages will be just like pages, screens in your app, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
I retract my comments.
Is it actually would it allow for making like extremely secure browser, because you would basically use React Native as a container for web, so any possible like attacks will not leak out of that because you are containerizing everything and you're using external features to like display and look through the web. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I don't know the answer for that. I guess the answer would be pretty complicated.
Oh yeah. Because I
there is a
see also...
reason. There is a reason why I'm not like in charge of those kinds of decisions. Because I don't know shit about it.
Because I also see more and more. I miss you too. Like I was super sad not to be a part of the stream last week.
Okay, native tabs, liquid glass era. I guess we saw that already. That the native tabs are there. Nothing much to say about this. Modals on web. Ooh, okay. Didn't we have it earlier? I was not using Expo on web extensively, honestly, so I don't know.
I was never using React Native in any capacity on the web.
Then, experimental support with more features coming as part of a larger effort to add full SSR for web. So you can add middlewares to define server function that runs before server request. Okay, client-side navigation native on web with links won't loop through the server. Learn more about middleware in the documentation. I was pretty excited when I saw API routes in Expo, I guess, year and a half ago. We with this move, we got like actual one project for all of your needs. Like you could actually write a server with Expo with API routes, and now they are like building on top of this and adding middleware and a bunch of other things.
Okay, now I'm gonna sound very dumb, but I had no idea that Expo has also API routes. Like it kind of...
Since SDK it's 52 beta or 51 beta.
Yeah, in our project we are using 52, but I just wasn't aware that they added the API route. Like I was surprised to see like folder-based navigation in Expo. It was super cool for me to see that, but for some reason it completely didn't click that that there is also now API routes.
So we've had them for a while.
Those conventions change so fast.
Well, I think this is like convergence almost. The Expo is just like recreating the patterns that you had in all of those other like full stack frameworks. It's just they started from mobile instead of starting from web.
Started from the mobile, now we're here.
Yeah, I think everything that happens at Expo is like really good direction. Honestly, like I see it as a very positive.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Stuff.
The most exciting for me, like change in how people perceive Expo. When I was starting to work as a React Native developer a couple of years ago, it was usually, yeah, just do Expo in it, and then once you're gonna need some more custom native elements, just eject. And usually I heard plenty of just eject from Expo and this will solve all of your issues. Like use Expo as long as you can and then eject. And the biggest surprise I got is that more and more often I hear other developers actually going back to Expo, so like turning their projects into EAS and EAS and this code, native code generations, etc. So it's kind of impressive that they managed to make such a turnaround in like developers' mindset and approach to
perception,
the projects. That's actually really impressive. They basically pulled a Crocs move.
Okay, going back to Expo SDK 54. So we talked about Expo Router v6, but now this one is a bit new as well. We've been using this, the Expo UI package. You remember how we used it?
Yeah.
Earlier. So they say that, yeah, we were using Expo UI Swift UI package and then some modifiers as well. But then they say that what's next? The next is Jetpack Compose support, which is like Android counterpart to this. So this is a reply to you directly, Kevin, that the platforms are diverging, but Expo is planning to like keep tabs on both of them and like allow you to do similar things with Android as well.
Okay. I might soon need to use Jetpack.
Okay. Okay. Let's go next because we are 1 hour and 15 minutes in.
Do you need any short break?
No. Let's go. Let's go next. Okay. So let's wrap up the last week in React and move on to this week in React. So this week in React, let's dive in. TanStack Start, release candidate. I talked about TanStack Start with Tanner, who is a namesake for TanStack. And TanStack Start has moved to RC, release candidate. So like it's more than beta now, right? Yeah, more than beta. TanStack Start isn't just another framework. It's the next chapter in building type-safe, high-performance React apps without the heavy abstractions. Whether you're coming from classic SPAs or dipping into SSRs, Start gives you the flexibility to scale in the direction that fits your team. Okay, so what we get? We get TanStack Router, server-first ergonomics, built-in streaming, meaning server components. What? Built-in streaming, React Server Components supports is on the way.
No.
So how do they have built-in streaming if they don't have React Server Components?
Well, you can, for instance, stream other element like text inside a component instead of component itself.
Are there like abstractions for that streaming? Aside from React Server Components, can you actually like what is the
I
way
could
to use
I could
streaming.
say that, for instance, streaming responses from AI, like you could, make a request to ChatGPT or any other model, and it streams the response in chunks. So they have built-in support for that, but they don't go through React Server components. But still, you can like stream the text onto already rendered component.
To use streaming in React without using React Server components, one common approach is to leverage React DOM server streaming. Okay, so there is an API for this. I just didn't know about it. Okay, it's possible.
I think, honestly, I still kind of struggle with understanding the React Server components.
We don't have time to explain this.
Oh,
I can
yeah,
explain
I
this
know.
to you next week. Okay, I'm not here next week and the week after that, so we talk about this later.
What? Okay.
Yep. Okay, this one is the big one. I talked with Tanner about this, and basically, URL as state is something that is one of the guiding principles.
We talked about it with Shimon.
Yeah.
And we did a small presentation with what was the app? It had a crazy weird name. Mad. Because we had quite a bit of fun with this. It had this like long weird name. Oh, it's killing me.
Oh no, no. Please don't die.
No, it's actually killing me.
I don't want to be on this stream without you.
How was it called? Oh no. Oh,
don't you have it in your notes from last week, from 2 weeks ago?
It was like 3 weeks ago. Wait. It was pretty big topic. Nukes.
Nukes?
Yeah.
I don't know this.
Nukes.
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 Okay. Nuxt?
No.
T?
No. N-U-Q-S.
N-U-Q-S? Nukes?
Yes. And the first.
Oh, okay. Type safe search params state manager for React.
And they have a pretty dope playground with demos.
Yeah. So that's basically similar idea that your URL should be considered your state and should like allow you to pass serializable props to your like next and next pages, basically.
Like check out their playground and hex colors. This was actually crazy to see.
Playground, hex colors.
Yeah, and as you will be scrolling, you'll see that the URL changes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't add to the history, so you can also like turn back. That was actually quite fun to see.
Okay, I can't go back.
Well,
you mean this is not adding to the history?
Yeah,
so I can go back
just
only
press
one page because I changed one. I can do 000. I can do FFF.
Oh no, yeah, now that this will be adding. It's not?
FFF is not working? FFF should work.
No, you are lacking 2 Fs.
Well, it's still considered valid hex. If 000 is valid hex, FFF should be valid hex as well.
Oh, 000 is a valid hex. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Let's see 111. 111 is not valid. So it's only 000 that is valid.
Oh, no. It's not valid as well. Because it just defaults to 000 when you have wrong URL.
Okay. Okay, I get what you're saying.
ABCD and you'll have 000.
What's important here is this URL state is very like design principle for TanStack Start, and also, like, more importantly, probably TanStack Router. So TypeState, blah, blah, blah. First class search params for managing state in the URL and seamless integration. So like TanStack Router is actually like built on top of that principle. Okay, cool. So that's TanStack Start. Let's not dwell too much into this. Let's go further. So is built on TanStack Router, key features, completely type-safe routing. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Yep. Let's go on. React now to our mouthful topic. React Router RSC framework mode preview.
Oh, no. Don't say a full thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. We should not abbreviate.
Exactly.
We should expand the acronyms. Whew. Fingers crossed. React Router, React Server Components Framework Mode Preview.
Nice. I'm going to show something that I learned after a K-pop party.
What's that?
These are hearts.
What are hearts?
Heart emojis. My wife went to the K-pop party and they were doing these things. These are like hearts. You just take your thumb and you put your finger on it.
Okay. Okay. In case you are unfamiliar with React Router modes, this post gives you a quick overview. The data mode is quite flexible but lower level. The framework mode gives you a more streamlined developer experience, managing many things for you thanks to new unstable Vite plugin. Although full RSC support is communicated, these Vite plugins already enable the following features. Okay. So let's go to the blog post then. Recently, we shipped a preview of React Router with support for React Server components, as well as low-level API for data mode. With the release of React Router, we are excited to, in short, try it out. Framework mode. Okay, framework mode versus data mode. In case you are unfamiliar, here's a quick overview. Data mode provides the core API for routing, data loading, and action handling. In this mode, you are responsible for the overall structure of your project, potentially managing multiple builds and the communication between them at runtime, wiring everything up to a bundler, including hot module reloading. All of this can be tricky to get right. You're effectively building your own meta framework on top of React Router. With framework mode, all of this build setup is handled for you via our official Vite plugin, including additional features like typegen and optional 5-system routing. For most people starting a new project, framework mode provides the most streamlined developer experience. So while many consumers were excited to see RSC support in data mode, we know that many more of you were instead patiently waiting for RSC support to land in framework mode. Okay. I don't want to read it now.
I already got lost, honestly.
Well, I understand.
Quite a bit of heavy tech words.
I think I understand 70% of this. Like, it's my understanding of framework versus data mode is that like data mode would be similar to React Native community CLI init, where like you have to still like bring in your own navigation. Like navigation is out of the question here because it's built on top of React Router, but like, you know what I mean? Like this conceptual understanding would be framework mode gives you a whole boilerplate already set up project, and data mode gives you some lower level APIs, but you need to like connect them together yourself.
Oh, okay. So it's basically like if I would so it's basically just like taking the core parts. So you don't have to use like TanStack init. You can just like take TanStack router and that's it.
When this one is React Router, but yeah.
So I assume that's their way of allowing people to test out and, you know, dip their fingers without doing a full transition, which makes
Yeah,
sense.
I don't know, man.
I recently started to try to think more in business terms.
Ooh, okay.
I hate it.
What is the example of thinking in business way?
Well, like, why did they make framework mode and data mode? Well, what's the purpose of that? Business wise, and maybe like developer wise. No, you're gonna perplex it.
Yeah, I'm gonna perplex it. I don't want Comet. Okay, why did they create
I'm
data
gonna feel
mode
extremely
and
proud if it will just say basically,
mode
um,
in
oh
business
wow,
terms?
Łukasz.
Yeah, we have Seb on the. The purpose is to be able to wire data mode to bundlers that are not Vite. You see?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, you know, business and
In
developers
so
wise.
many words, you said nothing like this.
No, but you see, first of all, that's what I meant. Second of all,
Yeah, like
I start
flexibility, basically.
I prefaced that with I'm starting to try and learn how to think in those terms.
Okay.
And it's not easy, it's hard.
I could use React Router RSC with Webpack RSPack too. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
that's kind of what I meant, that you don't have to like add a huge framework to your project, but you can add just like small part to still make it work and still got used to it, which is great. Like I'm a fan of small useful tools that you can just like plop in, start using instantly, and start learning.
So enterprises and infrastructure teams get deep customization. The majority of new projects out of the box excellence with framework mode. Dual offering increase ecosystem adoption, future proofs their technology, and lets them innovate on both ease and power instead of being forced to pick one at the expense of the other. Okay, cool.
Nice. That's basically word by word what I said.
Word by word, what you just said. Um, okay, so that's that. RC framework mode preview. Although full RSC support is coming later, these Vite plugins already enable the following features: return server components for audience action, create a server components routes, use client or use server directives. Okay. Cool. So I guess we went over most of the, like, all of the things that we established at the beginning that we want to go over. Now we can either talk about something else for the past 2 weeks, or maybe try to bootstrap something and like play around with one of the tools that we just explained. Or let's do this. Let's go and do our
Oh yeah, the
another.
bytes. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
let's do the riddle now.
Everyone likes the riddle.
Yeah. Oh, this one is long.
That's what she said. Sorry, I'm recently rewatching The Office.
Okay. So we have promises and timeouts. So function p all promises. So promise all
Wait,
will.
can you make it bigger?
Yes, that's what she said. Okay, so going from the end, so we trigger p all function. P all function does promise all on both promises,
Yeah.
and then console logs. Okay, and then P1 and P2 have return new promise. Oh,
It's
that's
gonna
easy. It's
it's
gonna
gonna
be
go
all that I
into.
resolved.
Oh, actually, no. I wanted to say it's gonna go into error resolving data.
But like this will be catched. The
Oh, so
the
there's a
error
catch.
the error the reject here, I guess it's gonna be caught in this catch. So in this, but is it going to like go to then or not? I guess
Because
so.
this,
I guess it's
but
gonna do all data resolved.
no, wait. Because see the P2 function, this is resolving, but this second promise above, it's rejecting. So it gives a reject.
Okay, Ryan says it's gonna, I think I agree with him. It's gonna be resolved and undefined in the results
But there is
array.
also one more catch, I think, because there are two promise resolvers. There is promise all and there is promise like
Race.
no. There is a promise all resolved, I think, or something like that, all settled. So one will fail if not all of them are resolved correctly. So all settled allows you to have promises with rejections.
Mm-hmm.
Once they settle, it all like resolve them correctly. But yeah, basically Ryan might be right that the second one will return undefined.
Okay, so let's look at the first error is P1 is logged, then P2 resolved undefined is logged. Since PL catches the rejections, it doesn't propagate to the promise all catch handler, allowing P2 to resolve. But since P1 doesn't return anything, the result is undefined. Yeah. So Ryan and I were correct, and Kevin was
I
half
just
correct as well.
added
Added
additional
context.
nuance
Yeah.
to the thing.
But it's tricky, right? Because like this all, like this one, P1 did resolve in reject, did settle, but like it didn't resolve. Okay, never mind. Like we got it. It was quite easy. Is there something from
Oh no, wait. Can
what?
you go back to it?
Yep.
Because didn't it actually just got out of the it's with the set timeout? Okay, no, never mind. So reject throws an error?
Well, yeah. Like if you don't catch it here, it would go to this.
I mean, yeah, I just kind of thought that reject just returns a promise in settled, like it's settled, but like rejected. Yeah, so basically I thought you will have a promise with status rejected, reason, error.
That's too deep for me. Like this
This
is my understanding. Like the way it works, this is the way that I remember it working, but like I don't know not why, but like
check out the thing I'm sending you. I'm sending you basically the
all
docs
settled. Yeah.
on all settled, and on the lowest side you can see that there are basically 3 promises, and there is a status rejected. So that's why I kind of don't understand why this would Maybe because, yeah, sorry, I don't get why it went into catch.
Okay, so promise all takes an iterable of promises and is a single promise. This returns a promise fulfills when all of the inputs promises fulfill, including when empty iterable is passed.
Yeah, it's just that I really didn't know that reject throws an error. Huh.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. So imagine you have this can I open my how do I open the console? What's the shortcut? Where is it?
I mean, I knew that reject will like basically return an error, but I didn't know that it throws an error.
So if you have something like const await const a await b, and this is promise, right? When b errors out, you have to have the try catch around it. And this catch, you remember this, right?
Yeah. But I kinda thought that it's a case, like it's a scenario where the promise throws an error and not just runs reject. You know what I mean?
No, but that's also like reject is a way of promises to tell you that there was an error. It's pretty intuitive.
Okay.
I don't know, like
No,
should work this way. If look at this in the way of like the actual language design, right? If it didn't work this way, you'd have to have two separate ways of communicating errors in JavaScript.
Yeah,
You should be using errors to communicate errors, not some objects that have a field that says rejected for a reason error.
This case is actually also shown in the docs in promise all fail fast behavior. It's a little bit lower. There are like those 5 P's, and one of them is doing a reject.
Which one? This one.
Lower, even lower. Even lower, yeah, this.
If is rejected if any of the elements are rejected. For example, if you pass in 4 promises to resolve after a timeout and one promise rejects immediately, the promise all will reject immediately. Okay.
See, that's the problem. Like once you work with that,
all settled would wait for all of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we learned something new. Thank you, Bytes. Okay, so if we go back to last week in React, is there something that we want to play around with? Do we want to? So I guess we already played around with the activity. How about, I don't know if I know how to do it. If I know how to plug in the newest Canary release of React into React Native and check it out and check out if activity works in React Native. We can try to do that. What do you think? But again, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do it because I've never changed React manually in my React Native projects.
To be honest, weirdly, today I don't really feel on top of the game. Starting the stream, I had a bit of a headache. So I wouldn't be too much of a help. But there is one thing we wanted to discuss anyway, and that was the links.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we have one more thing to talk about. Is it in last week in React on this week?
In
I think it's
250.
in the last one.
In 250.
Okay, links. 3.4 September 3rd. So finally, it's not in line with technical roadmap, guys. It's behind. The 3.4 should be released in August, and you released it in September. So don't say that this is in line with technical roadmap. I mean, it's 3 days late, still late. I know this because I was looking at the roadmap right before React Universe Conf, because I was speaking with Shen, who is an architect at Lynx. We had an interview, and quick plug, if you want to watch my interview with Shen, you can links. I guess not here. Oh no, the interviews are not yet live. Okay, but the talk about links is live. So let's see. HarmonyOS support, trace and recorder, text input elements. So link is new to a point where 3 weeks ago they didn't have text input element.
What?
Yep. Okay. Let's see. So new platform.
So wait,
HarmonyOS.
first, if you could explain to me what actually is Links?
Okay. So Links.js is an engine of not engine. Fuck. Links.js is this new framework for JavaScript that allows you to use React or other web frameworks, but React is like first class citizen right now, to create mobile applications and also web applications.
Okay.
It differs from React in a way that it's not using standard React 19. It is just following React's mental model and like React API, but it's actually using Preact under the hood. So it confirms to React 17 API, not React 19. So no concurrent React in Links, but it also has this feature that's called dual threaded architecture, where everything by default happens on this like lower priority thread, and UI rendering happens on higher priority thread. And then you can communicate between the threads, and then you can use the main thread, but that's opt-in. By default, you are always, as developer, coding for that background thread. It's called lower priority. And this allows you to create really performant apps. And by default, they have this instant first frame or instant first paint, where when your app starts, it's like loads immediately, because it doesn't have to like read all of your shitty developer code. It only starts the framework and displays the first screen.
So how do they deal with the lists? Can they scroll the list?
They have lists, but like overall, like if you look at the Links roadmap, there are a bunch of things missing. There is no navigation yet on Links.js.
Seems like an important bit of feature.
Yeah. You know what? I actually had no, not incognito tab. I actually
So wait,
had
is Links something that has a lot of like pull, but it's still in
it is
in very
created by
beta?
ByteDance.
But it's still in very beta, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, I had a presentation about Links.js.
Oh, the ByteDance is behind TikTok.
Yep. Okay, so this is my presentation that I created a few months ago for React Native Warsaw. So Links.js is the next framework created by ByteDance and already powering TikTok. This is me.
You are showing something?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I need to present something else now. So I'm presenting me.
Oh yeah, that's you.
So basically, this is my presentation from React Native Warsaw. Links.js, the framework your boss will ask about before your next race. Clickbait. This is me. So this is built by ByteDance and runs in TikTok. Built by ex-React, I guess React folks. The Shim, the architect of Lynx, was one of the original creators of React compiler. So things that make React fast right now, he helped create this, and he was the first person to actually like showcase this to the broader public. He had a talk at ReactConf or something. So it is a set of tools. Feels like React. So it was introduced in March 2025, supported by ByteDance. It has this like different tools. So Lynx is the engine, like framework engine behind it. They are using separate JS engine, which is Prim.js, which is like this very low footprint JavaScript engine. They are using RSPD build tool, and then they have React Links as a like UI layer, but you don't have to use React Links. You can use other technologies, maybe like Vue or something, to connect with Links. Then this, they announced this roadmap long time ago. So like Vue and Svelte are coming soon. Support for iOS, Android, and web was available back then. And then they announced Open Harmony that it's gonna be in August. It landed in September, right? But then what's not there, and I don't think it's there yet, which is native navigation, no kind of navigation yet available. Input, we got input right now. View pager or swiper, not available. SVG support, no notifications or location support yet.
So
it's really early.
Why did they explode so much? If they are missing so many elements.
It was really refreshing to see a new like kind of player in this like cross platform game, which has different like design principles. The design principle for them is speed, is performance. So they have this, okay, so I have it on the next slide. They have this multi-thread approach that UI thread handles only rendering, and it's powered by this Prim.js, and all by default logic, business logic, is handled by this background thread.
Okay.
So this Prim.js engine is like C++ core with Rust loose chain, blah, blah, blah. This is how you do this. You can use CSS by default in Links. So the styling is CSS, not style sheets, which is, I guess, a win for some of the developers, for developer experience. Like we have more people knowing how to write CSS styling than React Native style or style sheet.
I mean, it's okay. I'll give you that.
The UI elements are very similar to React Native, but written in lowercase, not in the capital case.
Ooh, fresh.
And then the adoption is that the Links.js is already powering some of the screens in main TikTok app. And they released, like back then, this was in March, they had already like 2 separate apps that were completely written in Links. So Disney 100 and Met Gala.
You know what? I'm kind of
okay,
skeptical because
last point.
Okay.
Because Links.js is JavaScript and is basically React, we can like really learn from each other, and like really React Native developers could be Links developers, and like vice versa. People that are starting with Links maybe like in few years maybe doing something in React Native. So those technologies are not necessarily like compatible, but are really like very similar in terms of developer experience and like the final product. So it's not like something like Flutter, for example. If you start writing Flutter, it's not really you can't transfer this knowledge to React Native.
Okay.
When you start writing with React Native, you can transfer this knowledge to Links and vice versa. So that's like really exciting.
What I'm mainly curious about currently, because let's be honest, they lack a lot of features. And I'm very curious if they will be able to keep up with the performance and add all of those missing features, because I feel like it's easy. I mean, easy, of course, quote unquote easy to do if they have this huge separation of display data. It's basically like super, tight and separate. Is great, but they basically are saying that currently we lack the user interactivity. So,
well, not really. It's just, yeah, it's not there yet. Like it's not production ready to in a way that it's plug and play. Like you can
I mean,
take
yeah,
it
and
and
the biggest problem, the biggest issue is making the app interactive, like making it fast, okay, but making it able to interact fast as well. I don't know, maybe I'm kind of missing something here in my understanding, but I mean, I completely agree. It's super interesting and cool that there is, as you mentioned in your presentation, a contender or contestant or challenger.
yeah,
Challenger.
I think
So
all three of the phrases work.
yeah, so it's pretty cool, but it's not like we didn't have also big shifts and changes in like inside React and React Native world, like approach to modules, approaches to rendering, and switches in engines, in architectures. But yeah, it's gonna be. I'm sure it's gonna be interesting to take a look at the links. So I'd suggest that maybe next time we could take a look at links.
Oh yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but I'm planning to do some like live streams that I directly like Links related, not React Native news related. Okay, you know what? What I want to do is I want to wrap up on this today. We are
Okay.
almost at 2 hour mark. I want to thank everyone and most importantly, Sebastian Lorber from This Week in React. We went over two releases, two editions. I'm sure we missed a lot of interesting topics, but there were some heavy hitters on the list, like Activity. I'm sure I'm gonna be playing with that. Expo Router, TanStack Start, and a bunch of others that we discussed. So thank you, Sebastian, for doing great work and allowing us to have something to talk about, to like look at the list of amazing React and React Native news and just talk about them. And thanks for coming to the show as well. And of course, thanks, Ryan, for being with us every week. You are amazing. Thank you, Damian, as well, so much. Who else was? Andrei, thank you for chatting with us in the comments. And I forgot to play the song. So I'm gonna play the song, and then Queuing can.
I'm making the hearts.
Nice.
Yay! Love and power and metal. Yeah. So,
which one is the?
I don't remember.
Okay, let's end on this.
Oh wow, like that.
I
okay.
hope we see you next week. Kevin will be here.
Yes. So thanks y'all for. Can you put a little bit? Okay. Thank you everyone for being with us today. We know it was quite a compact episode. We jumped over quite a bit information, but I think that the most important parts we managed to dive in. Thanks a lot everyone for participation. Thank you for the comments. It was really fun having you here with us today. Thank you, Łukasz, very much for being here with me today. I missed you a lot and can't wait for next episodes. And yeah, you have watched. Wait, do we even have an official name for the podcast, for the stream?
Live dev session.
Yeah, it was live dev session. Sorry, my live dev. Yeah, sorry, my brain is glitching. So yeah, thank you everyone, and see you next week. And next week I will be here with someone else, as I learned a couple of minutes ago.
I'm going to Alicante in Spain to give a talk about.
And Alicante joiner?
Okay. See ya. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.